What's up everyone, WizardKen here with another Xbox 360 World of Tanks map video. On these videos we discuss the different maps that are coming out on the Xbox version or are already out on the Xbox version, and we talk about the different strategies to hopefully help you guys out with trying to think differently or maybe look at different paths that you didn't really think of and stuff like that, because this map in particular is really one of those ones that changes up depending on what actual battle you're playing, whether it's assault, encounter, or standard battle. So we really need to look at this map carefully. Now, I've already done this map before on the encounter version, but I haven't done the assault, nor have I done the standard battle. And the reason is because there was a lot in the encounter battle that I wanted to go over and wasn't able to put everything in there. Also, real quick, if you guys are PC players, this may not work for you very well, because Xbox players play these maps completely differently than the way you guys do, and stuff like that. So, that being said, let's jump into this, because this will take a little bit to talk about, because we're going to be covering the assault and the standard battle. Assault going first, because the standard battle will actually follow suit of what the assault battle is like. Same strategy, pretty much. Just a couple different things. Alrighty, so of course, the enemy team, or the buttheads, blah blah blah, stuff like that, are going to start out in the fields just like this. Around this area somewhere. It's not pinpoint exact, so don't make fun of me. And the flag should be about right here somewhere. It could be actually up here. I can't remember. It's either here or here. Anyways, and then we start. This is our base pretty much. And everybody starts randomly throughout the city and on the sides and stuff like that. Alright, just like we always talk about, we're going to talk about the light tanks first. But before we get into that, I want you guys all to reconsider how you think about this map in general. I want you to think about this as we're in medieval times, and this is our castle. Okay? We have the enemy team sieging us from the outside, and we're on the walls, at the gates, everything, trying to protect this. Now, the reason why I'm using this as an example is because this city is your baby. If you go out into the open, you're going to be exposed. All of this is an exposed area. Why go out there and confront the enemy in an exposed area where you can side scrape walls, you can poke peekaboo in and out, where these guys have nothing to really use. They have some buildings here and here. So what? Let them use that. You know, eventually they're going to lose, because this is an assault battle. They have to come in after you. Okay? You're going to hold down the fort until you kill these guys. There's no reason to go out and venture off until there's maybe a couple tanks left, 2 or 3 or something like that. But anyways, this is your baby. You want to stay inside the walls and stuff like that. And we're going to explain more of that as we go on to every different tank in that sense. You know, light, medium, heavy, and also tank destroyers and your arty. So, that being said, this is how we're going to focus in this map, is in these areas pretty much, except for some of the light tank duties, which we need to talk about right now. So light tanks, you're going to start anywhere all through here and this and that. What I usually do with a light tank is, first of all, I run this outside perimeter right through here. Reason why is because you're going to have good visual of all these areas. You're going to spot people, but it's also hilly through here. That means these guys are going to have to expose themselves, and hopefully you have friends setting up or this and that. But if not, you still have a lot of hills that can protect you. Now, entering past this spot, you're pretty much on your own and being exposed. So you can either cut back up this ramp, which will slow down your momentum and possibly get you killed, like I said right there, or you can keep going, which is what I do. And then there's a little bit of a hill here that you climb over, about right there, and then I continue running across this little top of the ridge mountain line and spotting everyone this way. So you've already spotted pretty much their whole team. If you're looking for those spot medals and stuff like that, that's one of the best ways to do it. Now, once you're done doing your first pass like this, then bring yourself inside, okay, and start going around. Now, you can go inside here, or you can go back across the hill, because you still got protection here. You can still duck down and get away from being seen, okay, but it's not going to last forever because these guys will eventually come in. So once you do that once, I would say stick within the perimeter. So you've got all these little roads that you could jump into if you get spotted. Plus, you're still spotting outwards, all the way back around. Go all the way through here, cut in here, cut around, and so on and so on. And that's what I do with my light tank. I don't go arty hunting. Reason why is, if you watched my last video, I demonstrated how shitty this is for arty out here. Okay, it's not very easy hitting inside of these areas, except for right through here is a nasty spot for them to hit you. But if you guys stay concentrated in these little spots here, see the gap there? There's no way an arty can hit you right on here. They have to come straight out here to be able to hit straight, but then they can't hit through here. They can't hit through here. You know, there's a lot of spots you can hide. So that's the primary role of the light tank. Now, once there's, you know, a couple guys left and we need to find them, of course, make your run around the perimeter. But don't get yourself killed right away. All right. I know we have these new freaking, you know, new mission things that we could do every single day, objectives, but guys, it's not really giving that big of a benefit, big of a boost. So as I said, and plus you still have to wait until the end of the game anyway, so why kill yourself when you could still, you know, help out your team? You guys are very important on this light tanks. So that being said, let's move on to the medium tanks, medium and heavies. Let's just put it that way. Medium tanks, this is how I play. I love playing inside this area. Actually, to be honest with you, it goes more like this. Comes around, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay, that whole area, everything with that line and inside of it is where I like to play with my medium tank. Reason why is because I'm fast. Most medium tanks are fast. The Patents are fast. The T-54E1's pretty fast. The T-69's fast. Plus, they have autoloaders, which are badass. And you're going to have enemy teams eventually, if they do breach, coming in from different directions. Well, they're not going to be able to cover everything. And these roads are so tightly knitted that it's going to take them a few minutes to turn around. And possibly, if they're too close to one side or another, they're going to hit the fucking wall and not realize it, giving you an extra 2 seconds or 3 seconds to shoot or get away. So this is an awesome opportunity for you medium tanks to work this area very, very, very nicely. Now, also, medium tanks, I would say a couple of you, okay, set up over here. You don't have to worry about this side, because this is going to be covered by heavy tanks when we talk about them in a second. But the medium tanks should set up somewhere near this hill, not looking over it and trying to get yourself shot where you get spotted. Now, what you want to do is help protect the tank destroyers that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Also, where they're set up. So, you medium tanks, like I said, you need to stay in these areas. This one's a little exposed, but there is a little dip through here that you can hide in. Try to back up your tank destroyers, okay? The enemy will come in. Don't feel like you're losing out because you can't find anybody or kill anybody. Plus, if you're sitting here, you've got enemy tanks that are going to sit out here, okay? Little enemy tanks and stuff like that that are going to sit out here. You guys can shoot at. It's very, very, very easy, okay? Anyways, so that's pretty much the medium tanks. I know that kind of sounds like shortly done, but the thing is this is your baby. There's nothing outside this fucking wall. This is all your area that you need to protect. You don't need to go fucking way out here. Wait until near the end. Why would anybody want to go all the way fucking out here when there's 15 people on the fucking playing field and it's split half and half pretty much? So Yeah. Why? Why would you do that? Okay? You're going to have 8 on one side and 7 on the other. That's more than one tank can handle. So, as I'm saying to you, don't worry about going out there quite yet. Stay back and let them come to you. Use your view range, your light tanks, and your tank destroyers to view these guys, and you guys blow the shit out of them. That's it. Okay? So that's your main focus is there. Now, if the enemy team does break through where you're at over here, okay, in your medium tank and stuff like that, hopefully the tank destroyers are already pushing back, but it's going to be hard for them to do any fighting in here. It's very narrow, unless they're like a waffle E100, but even then they're so lightly armored in the top that they're going to get shot up like crazy. The FV is terrible in here because it's got a 30-second reload and it's not very fast backing up and peekabooing because you show so much of your front end before you get to show your actual turret. So it's very bad in that sense. So alright, we're going to say the enemy has advanced into this area. Okay, they're going to be pushing in. This is where you fall back behind the gates, pretty much. We'll just say they got in through the first main gate. This is where you guys focus through these alleyways. Okay, you've got buildings back here they could spot. They're going to have to come over. There's a ridge line right here, which exposes them. There's nothing through here. There's nothing through here that they can hide behind. Nothing. So use these different spots as your advantages to shoot at these guys if they come in this way. Now, as we talked about, trying to draw my line again. I know I kind of fucked it up a little bit. Anyways, in this area, if the enemy team breaks through this side and starts pushing into the town, alright, they start coming up this way. This is still an exposed area. There's holes in inside of buildings right through here. There's buildings you could side scrape here and here. There's still another alley, I think, right here. And then you shoot down this way, and then shoot down this way, and that way. It's very hard for them to get in. You're going to be sitting here anyway shooting out to kill the guys out in the open field. But if they do push up further because they traveled along this line, which makes it harder for you to spot them because there's hills right here, then you might have some problems. Alright, but nobody usually goes this way. I've only seen 1 or 2 tanks come up this way. This is not a very high priority to have to protect because someone does come up this way, you're going to spot them through this road right through there. So just remember, this is your honey home. This is your greatness. This is your castle. This is your everything. This out here is not. Alrighty, so you heavy tanks. Now, we talked about the medium tanks coming out here and stuff like that and helping out, and then also playing in here. Now, you guys get a little bit more aggressive, but not as much. Now, this area right here is still your home, just like the mediums. I'm not going to draw it out. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But I like having heavy tanks position themselves, especially right here. Especially right here. This is your main gate. This is where your big, heavy armored guys are going to be blocking the door from them bashing it in and coming in. So you heavy tanks, this is your honeycomb right here. This is your spot. Nice spot about this is that now you will be exposed a little bit right here, your ass end or anything. But if you can get there, awesome. But this front area here and here, facing towards the door right here, is awesome. Reason why. That ramp right there, we talked about it with the light tank. They have to drive up it. What happens when you see somebody come up a hill and they can't get their turret down or their barrel down in that sense? They get shot in the underbelly. Okay, great spot to track somebody and shoot their underbelly. Awesome spot. And if you can get 3 tanks there, that's 1, 2, 3 tanks shooting. Even a 4th one right here because there's a wall that protects you too. So 1, 2, 3, 4 that could be shooting at these guys. Instant kill. Instant kill. Okay? So you guys get to have the fun of doing that. Also, this area pointing out, this is a little exposed, but there are rock like pillars that are there. great for being able to shoot at and stuff like that. Now, you guys are a little bit more exposed out here for the arty if they're lined up through here, but you shouldn't have any problems with arty that's facing this way through here or this way. I mean, they could hit you, but you're just gonna have to plan, you know, figure out how well, you know, how much you need to be next to a building and stuff like that. Now that you got some heavies going here, not everybody can sit there, right? This is where you guys fill in the gaps. Okay, we've talked about the medium tanks falling back here. Well, if there is a heavy tank here, the medium tanks can swoop around and go back. Heavy tanks, you cover these outer perimeters. You are going to be the badasses. Reason why. Okay. Tank destroyers can sit there, but as soon as the enemy advances, they're going to see them and they're going to blow them up. There's not too many tank destroyers that can take hits. The T110 E5, or not E5, but the T110 E3 and stuff like that are great for doing this. They can also sit out in these areas, but like the IS-7s, the T110 E5s are pretty decent with doing this and stuff like that. They could sit out there and ricochet a lot of different things. The E100, I mean, of course, he's going to have that lower plate problem, but not too bad. But he can also use the side of the buildings and side scrape a lot too. The Jack Panther E100 would be okay doing this too. I just worry about him because he has a stationary turret, and if he has to turn all the way around to kill somebody shooting at his ass, he's not going to do it in time. Heavy tanks, this is your baby to sit there and watch. Now, as you can see, we've got a lot of these areas covered. And once we're done talking about the tank destroyers, which is next, and the arty, we're going to put this all together and see what it looks like. Alrighty, so you tank destroyers. As I was talking about, the medium tanks are going to sit up here, and you guys are going to sit on this ridge line and fucking snipe the hell out of the people coming this way. So you're going to be sniping out that way. Now, I do say it's okay for tank destroyers to sit out here a little bit and view out. Reason is because you need to try to take out as many people as you can. Once you get spotted, fall back. You could fall back either to this area, or you can fall back to inside the city and then readjust yourself where you need to go. Also on this side, I've seen tank destroyers, and I do like this idea. I haven't tried it yet, but I have seen people use the edge of this building here. Fuck. I hate when I do that. Ah, damn it. Now I fucked it all up. Yes, I did. Boop. A bit bigger. Ah. There. That's just gonna have to do for now. I fucked it up. I hit the wrong button. Anyways, I have seen tank destroyers side scrape this building, and they keep their view range out through here, which stops the enemy from coming up this road like we talked about, which is the one way I haven't seen too many people go, but it can't stop them there. Plus, those guys that do make it up to here, what is that? Perfect firing range, perfect spotting right here for not only, you know, for this tank destroyer, but even if he doesn't want to get exposed, all of these heavy tanks that are supposed to be set up and ready to go. So, not too many spots I would say for tank destroyers to set up on, but these are just the few spots that I like, that I've seen, that I've worked with other people, and it's worked great. Now, artillery. I'm sorry, but this is a shitty map for you, okay? Especially if the enemy gets close. The best thing I could say for you guys is try to set up somewhere up through here. Some of these areas are okay, but you can't go too far because you don't want to go over that ridge line, just in case the enemy team does come up here and starts pushing. You're gonna have to be able to back up. Now you can try to set up near the flag where it's open, but once again, you got to remember, artillery is going to be shooting for anything they can find open. If they notice you running over a car or anything like that, they're gonna knock you. They're gonna hit you. I can't remember if there's cars in there, but if you run over anything, they're going to try. So, they're going to try to hit at you any way they can, because they're not going to have very many options on this map. I mean, the tank destroyers and medium tanks, that's one thing I forgot to say, is you got to watch out for arty. You got to keep on the move, either a couple feet forward or backwards once you got spotted and stuff like that, just to throw off arty. Anyways, I have seen some artillery set up here. Oops, wrong color. Set up here, but they were only able to focus out this way. They weren't able to focus too much on this way because this building right here blocks your view from shooting this way and stuff like that. So this one's not very good for arty on the inside at all. I mean, it's 100 times worse than the arty on the outside. So that being said, let's set this up so that everybody can see what it looks like all together. Okay, so what we're going to do here is show how everything gets set up and how well protected this is afterwards. So we've got our light tank, which we're going to go ahead and just do an outline like this. Okay, our light tank we're going to say is our invisible protective wall, because it's going to protect us from from people that we can't see. They're going to show us everything that's out there. Okay, we've got our tank destroyers. Okay, we're going to set them there. Set one here. Okay, we have our, we're going to make a little square, okay, for our medium tanks. Alright, we have also our medium tanks in this circle right here. I'm not going to draw it out because there's going to be a lot of lines. Then we've got our heavy tanks. Now, let's see how many is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we have one extra line. What do you do? We'll erase that one. Anyways, really, this guy right here would not be there. We'll just say he's down here. Anyways, so we've got our light tank, we got our tank destroyers, and we have our medium tanks. Now, this is without arty. Okay, we could add an arty unit in here, but we'll just say there's no arty because, like we said, it's going to be hard for them to shoot on this map anyways. So, look at this. You have a completely protected area here. Look at this. You have tanks pointing at every single direction. There's not a spot. If you let these guys get into the town, you're not screwed, but the thing is, it defeats the purpose of killing them out in the open. This is an open area. I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay, it's open. Use that to your advantage. There's concrete tank traps right through there that stop them from getting through. Use that to your advantage. You know where they're going to come in at. There's like one right here, and I think another one here. Cover the openings. They can't get past the openings if you're shooting at them. So there you go. You just gotta protect it like crazy. There's no way they could get in without getting killed. I mean, look, you can leave this kind of unprotected because if they start shooting here, people could just fall back from certain spots and come fill this out. That's what the medium tanks are for. That's why they run the center area, to protect this side. Anyways, guys, that is how the assault should be played, in my opinion. It's worked for me when I've worked it with a couple of people. We've kept inside. We've had only a couple people left, and we kicked ass because we were able to surround people. We were able to use the system of buildings in and out to kill everyone. Alrighty, so now the same concept is going to go with the standard battle. We're going to talk about that real quick. Okay, the bad guys are going to start here. We'll just say the good guys. The big G units go right there, so on and so on. Now you guys start here and here, and what are you guys trying to do? Take over flags. Now I'm not going to go too far in depth with this. Like I said, this is the same thing as what the assault map is like. Now, you light tanks, if there are arty on this map, I would definitely just send your ass around this way. Now, if there's not any, I would send your ass this way, but I would be cautious and then eventually fall back. You just want to see what the enemy team's doing. If they're going to come and send some people this way, are they going to come up in here? You know, that's pretty much all you want to do. And then you can start running in the city and freaking fucking with people and stuff like that, because this is going to be badass for you to run through as a light tank. Now, that being said, this is still your castle. You've just gotten home when the enemy team showed up. So you want to rush. Everybody wants to rush into this. Tank destroyers, not too much. Tank destroyers, you want to come out here and start trying to take out some of the people that are coming into the main gate. You know, use your view range as your friend. Use these buildings out here to help shoot these guys coming in from this direction. The rest of you, mediums and heavies, you really want to get in here and get to this side and start using your buildings to side scrape. Oops, I didn't mean to do that one. Side scrape and start shooting at the guys down through here, because this is the only ways they can come. Okay. Also, you want somebody to come down here because this is definitely a way that someone's going to come. Okay. If you can seal these areas off, this main gate too. Okay. So you've got all this right here. You seal that off, guys, you're good to go. As long as your tank destroyers are out here, they're covering anybody that might go even further out. Like out here. They're covering anybody that's coming out further out here. And also your light tanks are doing the same thing. So really, the enemy team is stuck in this boxed area all through here, if you can get up there quick enough. I mean, of course, you're going to have some medium tanks to take out probably in the town, and some light tanks to deal with. But if you could push them back and get set up, they're not going to have a chance to get in. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the assault and the standard battle. Like I said, the standard battle is pretty much the same thing as the assault. You want to take over the castle, you want to take over the town, and just keep that as your own. It's your best advantage. You have a lot of protection in there. The enemy team will be in the open. You can do this, guys, if you use this strategy. I know it. I've done it multiple times. But like I said, it is my strategy. It is, you know, simply my ideas on how this should be played. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I will have the subscriber stuff up. Hopefully not tomorrow, but the next day, because I got pretty much all of it done with. I'm just going over some other stuff. And then also I do have the T54E1, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. I just thought doing this was a better idea because I really wanted to learn a little bit more of the T54E1 before I took it out and started recording about it and talking about it. So anyways, guys, I'm WizardKen. Until next time, see ya.